Unmarried partners, queer relationships constitute family. Supreme Court.
Here's a summary of the article.
Familial relationships may take the form of domestic, unmarried partnerships or queer relationships, the Supreme Court has observed, while noting that an atypical manifestation of a family unit is as real as its traditional counterpart and deserves protection under the law. The Apex Court made the remarks in its verdict that held that a working woman cannot be denied her statutory right to maternity leave for her biological child only because her husband has 2 children from a previous marriage and she had availed the leave to take care of one of them. The bench said that unless a purposive interpretation were to be adopted in the present case, the object and intent of the grant of maternity leave would simply be defeated. The grant of maternity leave under rules of 1972 is intended to facilitate the continuance of women in the workplace. It is a harsh reality that for such provisions, many women would be compelled by social circumstances to give up work on the birth of a child, if they are not granted leave and other facilitative measures, it said. In this context, the support of care work through benefits such as maternity leave, paternity leave, or childcare leave by the state and other employers is essential. Although certain provisions of the rules of 1972 have enabled women to enter the paid workforce, women continue to bear the primary responsibility for childcare. The grant of childcare leave to the appellant cannot be used to disentitle her to maternity leave under Rule 43 of the Rules of 1972, it said. When the appellant applied to PGIMER for maternity leave, PGIMER was faced with facts that the law may not have envisaged or adequately accounted for. When courts are confronted with such situations, they would do well to attempt to give effect to the purpose of the law in question rather than to prevent its application, the bench said, and set aside the Punjab and Haryana High Court order.
This post received a score of 9,200, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
India, not the US.
As a Canadian, I'm happy to see the country left out of the title and it not be the US for once.
Last time I remember it happening it was Canada. I think the stealth condom ruling.
Familial relationships may take the form of domestic, unmarried partnerships or queer relationships, the Supreme Court has observed, while noting that an atypical manifestation of a family unit is as real as its traditional counterpart and deserves protection under the law. It said that these manifestations of love and families may not be typical but they are as real as their traditional counterparts, and such atypical manifestations of the family unit are equally deserving not only of protection under the law but also of the benefits available under social welfare legislation. Well said, great decision for all families.
Yeah. This is big. There are millions of people in some way connected to an atypical family in India. And this legal recognition will be a big step in making their lives better.
In one judicial ruling, the legal definition of a family has widened for 20% of the world's population. It's insane how large India is. Clarence Thomas is fuming at India.
Alito writing another speech being aggrieved by other nations' law decisions.
Good job, India.
Would be great if the title said which country, lol.
To be fair, the title on the subreddit is limited by the rules and must be the title of the news article. The article is from New Delhi TV though, but that's not something most would get from just the title, so it's understandable why it's annoying.
I can't help but notice all these other countries pulling far ahead of the US when it comes to social evolution. The conservative right in the US is doing its best to push it back into the dark ages.
People talking about other atrocities committed in India, why do you say, committed by India? Since when a nation constitutes an individual? Does a flag have free will? A judge that released a bunch of rapists is not the same person as the judge who made this new legal declaration. Humankind works in steps, some humans do good, some humans do evil. Nor was it done by some kind of Indian collective conscience, so there are still bad weeds that need to be rooted out. Neither this good deed nor the atrocities that have been mentioned in this thread have been committed by India, they were committed in India. There's a difference.
It wasn't a judge who released the rape convicts. It was a prison committee. Under nationwide prison release program they released a bunch of old prisoners aged above 65 to 70. Sadly, these scumbags also got released. Even though the government brought in a law to not give early release to rape convicts.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.